Right then, it's currently about 20 to 3 in the morning. First trip out for the video. Stop point we're heading to. A long old walk up through the bushes and field. Yeah. Let's see how we can get out. So there he is. Turned out to be a little spotty. I think he's a spotty. Not white on him. He might be a little tiny small-eyed actually. There's very shit markings on him, you can't really tell. Dongle. Job done. So, a bit better. Fishing which a lot of people probably say this mark is renowned for. What people normally come here for. Small bait though, that was mackerel and squid. Close to a double, I'd say. In fact, I'd definitely say it's a double. Yeah. Female blonde. Try and get a bit more space here. Gotta be careful, there's crab out on that at the moment, so that does rip off. It's a hound, but there we are. Yeah, there we are, that's none of this numpty stuff, you know what I mean? That's close to a double. Pardon. There we are. That is what this mark is renowned for, is the blonde rays. I've had my fair share off here. You get some very big ones off here at the right time of year. It's September, like your autumn run. Yeah. But, like I say, not big baits. Little mackerel and squid bait, that was. That's a 5-0 circle. And away we go. Let's get him back. But yeah, that's what I come to this mark for today, was hopefully to pick rays up. Like I say, I've had a little, I think it was a small eyed, and now I've got a half tidy size blonde. So yeah, let's get him back in the water. So just a quick little bait up, sandeel and squid. So I make these myself. I do sell them if you want them. Also, Matthew from Pinnacle Angling, he actually buys them off me to sell. So they are available out there. So for your first sandeel on, or one sandeel, I just cut it in half basically, so I can stack it up. Just got a little bit of cotton on it just to hold it, not too tight. Half a squid. Just lay that over the top. Just get the elastic on it. There's a few turns to hold it. So where my dongles differ to most people is I don't actually have any knots in mine. Mine are literally just, that's a doubled up piece of braid with a split ring on the end. So you get it on there, in the way you want it, about there, start binding down. Now I don't nick my hook through my bait at all. What I do instead to stop it slipping, it's got up and down a fair few times. So there's your little bait. What I do then is I wrap the elastic through so it catches the hook shank a few times, a couple of turns that way and a few turns the other way to lock it off, like that. And then that's my bit. Nice tight and secure. Pull the pin out of it. And that's it. That There's the size of my bits. Don't use anything bigger. That is a 65mm dongle. That is literally a lot. Like I say, 5/0, that's a Tronics. Or I use the Sakuma 445. They're a good hook. But yeah, that's it. Just a little bit. General idea being, if it's much longer, the fish has got to eat its way up. With the bait being that big, it's going to engulf it in one go, and it's picking that hook up straight away, and you're nailing that fish. So, and then obviously I'm fishing over relatively heavy ground here, so it's just weakling setup. Same old thing with me. 175 gram leads. Weak link here. Short, long, I don't really think it matters on this mark. Spin your lead a few times so that when you fold it in half, it makes a coil. Foam and pin. My method of choice for rough ground. And that's it. Clip that in the imp and you're away to go. So he's not the biggest, but he's welcome all the same. Flooding tide, start banging the crab out down here. A few hounds up. So, like I say, he's not the biggest. 4, maybe 5 pound. Little common, but so I always tend to find you pick the rays. Always seem to come in on the ebb. When the tide's on the way out, it's driving hard, you tend to pick the rays up. As soon as that's flooding, I tend to find the rays drop off a bit. But when the hounds are about, they tend to come in when the tide's pulling the other way. So it works down here to fish baits on the way out. You can put the odd crab in your ebbs, you pick rays up on crab, but as soon as it does turn, start banging a crab out there and get a couple of these on the board. Let's get him back. They're going to be bigger. Got a starry this time. See the difference? You got the little spots. Slightly bigger fish, maybe 7 or 8 pound, maybe. It's not. We've got your small fish, so all behave yourself. Get him back and turf another bait out while I'm at there. But yeah, there we are. See where the circle I've nailed him, but there, look. Lovely stuff. Seems to have slowed up a bit now. Well, we're in 20 minutes into the flood. A couple of little rattles on the crab I got out there, but that could be anything, something picking at the bait, it happens. Yeah, it hasn't been a bad session. It's say I have like 2 rays. I dropped one first cast, he run me to ground. Enjoys the fishing rough ground. 2 rays, 2 dogs, about 2 hounds. It's not bad. I haven't had to break my other rod out and start fishing 3 hookers to try and get a fish, so that's always a bonus. When you haven't got to bother scratching, that's okay. But I'll probably give it another half hour or so now. Let the water get up to roughly where my stand is. I'll knock it on the head then. But yeah, it's been a gorgeous morning down here. It was quite a big collapse just now up on it. All the birds flew out of it and everything. It was a hell of a noise, like a big thunderous roar. But yeah, I'll let the water get up to my rod standish where I am now. So another, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 casts. I got a crab baited up, ready to go. So we'll see where it goes. Like I say, there's always a chance it could tear off now, you never know. It happens, I've been having little rattles, but we'll see. And then start thinking of where I'm going to fish next. Quite tired now. But yeah, it's not a mark I would come to on my own if you don't know the ground, and if you're not, you are down here literally on your Todd. You know, out of every, say, 10 sessions I fish here, I might see people on one, maybe two of them. It's just that climb down, which obviously I've shown you, it's that climb. You do tend to lose a bit of gear here. It's, you know, it's not a very friendly mark. I like it. I've always had good fish here. I don't think I've ever blanked on you. I might have had to resort to three hooking and scratching and pulling out like your pouting and your rockling and bits and bobs, and sometimes that's fun too. So I might actually do that on the next one, just to show how and what I do there, because I got a slightly different setup for my rotten bottom, and I got a different method I use. That tip is going, so we'll have a look. But I think next weekend there's small tides, so you'll see what I fancy fishing. I do generally tend to fish rough ground more than clean ground. I will fish over the sand if, you know, the tides are right and certain marks are there, but in general I prefer the rough. I just tend to find it holds more fish, not necessarily bigger. My biggest hound this year has come off Monknash, 15 pound 11, something like that it was the other week. It's a flat sandy beach, but the difference is, like, if I'd come down here this morning and there was nothing happening, like, I'll set my other rod up, 30 pound line straight through, three hookers, little bits of mackerel, little bits of squid, little bits of crab, fishing, you know, between, say, 30 and 70 yards or 60 yards out. Pick up all your bits and bobs and keeps you entertained, and that's what it's all about. It's definitely something I'm going to go with that bait. Change it in a minute anyway. But yeah, it's I am hanging tired now. But like I said, I'll give another couple of casts. If nothing else comes of it, that's the end of it. If it does, I'll bring it back to show you. Suppose it wouldn't be a YouTube video without a little cast. Rough ground casting is an art in itself.